This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. Do not be alarmed. This is only a test. Hello everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to Mordor! Been a while since I finished my Fire Emblem series, actually. Yes, Mordor. What has happened since the last video? I took some time to grind a little bit. I'm now Sorcerer level 75, which gives me the minimum casting cost of Leprosy, apparently, which is 4. Mage is 86, which gives me something. Scavenger's 43. Should probably work on that a little more just to get minimum cost Charm of Opening. Well, not minimum, but to approach minimum. Apparently it'll keep going down once every other level until 59. So I could get it down to like, let's see, 5, 7, 9, 8 more, which is, trying to do math right now, for some reason it's difficult, 23. 23 Charm of Opening would not be bad. It's not minimum cost. Minimum cost is like really low, but that's going to take forever to get Scavenger to minimum. But 23 is a reasonable amount. And apparently, according to someone on the forums, the way that the fighting calculation is that it only takes your guild with the highest fighting stat, which is Paladin, and the level in that. So no matter if I got level 999 Scavenger or Nomad or whatever, I'd still be based on level 22 Paladin. Because I decided to level in Paladin. So I feel like if we ever want to fight anything, we need to boost our Paladin level. That's going to give us a tangible, hopefully, impact. Do I have any cursed items on me before I join? Yes, I do. So I think we're going to go that way. No, not the library. Okay, no quests. What, unequipped? Only the crest and my bracers. Wow. That is kind of great. Any shield in here? Of course I don't. I can use an iron shield. Why not? Did I have any backup bracers in here? I don't think I do. No, looks like I do not. Iron bracers should be fine. Now that I've taken off the crest, what are my resistances? Stone paralysis, drain, acid, cold electric. But I don't have a ton of experience necessary to level up, so... might as well just cast everything. I forget what spells I even have on myself, so let's just cast them all. Okay, looks like I do have protection, so... It has been way too long since I've played Mordor at all. That is like riding a bike. I never really forget. I get back in and just like, okay, I know what I'm doing. Time to go down and kill some slaves and then hit the goblins and yada yada. You know the drill. Oh my goodness. What has been happening in my life? A decent number of things, actually. School has been taking over. I've been having a minor crisis of future, and then just deciding, you know what, just keep going with it. It's fine. Things will work out, and don't need to completely collapse over looking at other potentials and seeing and feeling like I'm way behind the curve or anything. No, just embrace what I have. Yeah, that 21 damage needs to change. Just embrace what I have access to, enjoy it, and just keep moving forward. Looking for work is once again a bane upon my existence, and now I have another thing to work and to look for, and that's housing for next semester, which is something I'm narrowing down. It's just something I need to finish up. But that's just day in the life. Day in the life of Mithril Zenith. Dazzle, 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 dazzle. Dazzle, dazzle, dazzle. Leprosy, leprosy. Oh man, I can just go back to... I can go back immediately after this. That's kind of impressive. Oh man, I miss having like 10,000 experience to level up instead of, was it 40, 50, 80? I forget how much it was. Too freaking much experience required to level. You must return iron bracers. You mean like the ones I'm wearing right now? Probably should be saving those scroll of spells, but whatever. Anyway, what have I been playing recently? Oh man, I love being able to cast all my spells for less than 40 spell points. Casting all my buffs and resistances and everything for less than 40 spell points is wonderful. So recently on the channel I played through a hack of Fire Emblem 7, which was 0 base stats. That was interesting. I was surprised at how natural it felt, how winnable it was. At first you think, oh, 0 base stats and 1 hit point, that doesn't seem possible for a strategy RPG game like Fire Emblem, and conventional wisdom, it's not, but it still was in the end, just with a lot of heavy RNG manipulation. But it was still really fun, and it actually made me feel a lot more like I was playing XCOM. Whoops, that's stairs up. I need the stairs down. But yeah, that was fun. After that, I haven't done anything for the channel because I've just been burned out and needed to enjoy games myself. On one hand, I can't really record all the games that I wanted to play anyway, since I don't have any sort of capture card for TV or handheld or anything. But also because, well, making Let's Plays and videos and whatnot makes me play games differently. It makes me have to, like, mentally prepare myself a little bit. It's hard to explain to someone who's never done it before, but yeah, it's just a very different feeling of, you feel like, I don't know, you have to be on all the time. I feel like I have to prepare my environment in order to play. Like, I can't just play whenever. Like, I need to have quiet time, no one else home. Why is the Crest of the Sorcerer still buffered? I can't use it. And my sashes, where did I put those? That's a neutral sash. Make a level, have my bracers. You want chainmail now, too? Freaking heck. It helps if I spell iron correctly. Come on, mouse. That's another issue I keep having. Is my mouse does not like me. Here, have your iron chainmail too. What more do you want? A helmet? A sword? Goodness. Give me more iron bracers. Exit, equip. Okay. I don't know if I need anything in the 10 slot. Let's keep going, keep grinding. Feather S&C site, okay. Now we can actually hit up a deeper dungeon level. But yeah, so in my spare time I've been... excuse me. In my spare time I've been playing through a lot of older games that I just never finished. For instance, I finally played through Metroid Prime 2. Because I've owned that game since I was, well, in elementary school, and I never ended up finishing it until now. Which is surprising looking back, considering I did 100%. Oh, my goodness, stupid giant slugs. Can I charm it now? Nope, not enough points. Not enough freaking points. Okay, let's just kill it. But yes, considering that 100% run of Echoes without looking up a guide until the very end just to wrap up the last couple missile expansions that I never would have found without it. It was only about 24 hours. Yeah. I never finished that game, not because of its length, but because of its frustrating design. Because everything takes forever to do. Not that it actually does, but it feels like it takes forever to do. I'll give you an example. Every time you want to move to a different area, transition cutscene, whether it be an elevator ride or a light warp or whatever. Going through a portal, cutscene. Going back through the same portal, another cutscene. No fast travel anywhere, so you want to go anywhere, you have to walk there, jump there yourself. Go back, backtrack, through a portal, come back. You know, I don't mind backtracking, A lot of people blame just all Metroid games because they have backtracking. I don't necessarily mind backtracking itself. It's when the backtracking takes forever and there's no reasonable way to travel. Consider a game that is very close to my heart and which I love, Dark Souls 1. You don't have fast travel until most of the way through the game. You have to pick up the Lord Vessel to get fast travel. You have to walk everywhere. Does it get tiring? Yes, it gets a bit drab, a bit dull. But the quests never specifically force you to backtrack entirely, and when they do, they normally give you a shortcut. Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, on the other hand, does not always give you shortcuts. Occasionally it does, once or twice, around the time of getting to the, what's it called? The Sky Fortress. But, yeah, beyond that, it does not expressly give you shortcuts. And you have to backtrack, and you don't know where you have to backtrack to, or what you have to backtrack to get, until after about 15 to 20 minutes of no progress being made, the game will direct you using your auto map, which is... Okay, frankly, I'm glad it's there, but when I have to look at it every few seconds just to figure out which way I'm facing and where I'm going, I mean, it's more of a problem with the world design in general, but the auto map itself is not very legible either, because it's taking a full 3D space and reducing it... Well, it's a full 3D map, but it's reducing it into a 3D-ish image. And, you know, vector maps can work. I played the heck out of Descent. Vector maps work. Doesn't mean that those maps are always the most readable things, especially when the world is built on top of itself, and when certain doors are only one way, or look like they're attaching to a thing but actually don't, or look like they don't attach to a thing but actually do, and when the map doesn't show you any key information outside of, oh, if there's a portal here, there's a door here, but it doesn't show you all the roadblocks in the way. It just says, oh, this is the shape of the room. It makes it nearly impossible to figure out what it is you're supposed to do sometimes. The point of contention that I had was in Torvis Bog. I had no idea I was supposed to go all the way back to freaking Temple Grounds, to come all the way back to Torvis Bog, to go into the deepest underwater section. They make you do all the water stuff before you get the suit, the gravity boost, which lets you move freely underwater. Why? To make it feel good when you have the gravity suit? I don't understand their methodology for that. Helps if I spell resist right. Okay, there we go. Oh, wait. There we go. Yeah, so overall, it's not a bad game. I have a lot of fundamental complaints with the level design in it, but it's not a bad game. In fact, some things they do that, you know, I have to begrudgingly admit are pretty clever. For instance, you scan literally everything in the game. Majority of it is just lore, and it's like, well, that's fun, but ultimately pointless. Until you realize that the deceased Luminoth, many of which you scan, are titled keybearers. And they are given their names. And at the very end of the game, when you're asked to collect 9 keys spread out across the entire freaking world, you are given clues, which are extremely vague and don't necessarily help outside of give you a very general location. But the surprising part in the fact that what is actually helpful about the clues is that each clue has a name attached to it. So then you look up the lore entry for that name, provided you scanned it when you first went through the area, and it will have one highlighted word in the name. You look on the map for an area within their little section of their map, their little quadrant or whatever. You look in the light world for an area that has a name that contains one of those words. For instance, the area called Landing Site, the key bearer's message will say site in it. That's just one example. And that word will be highlighted. For the it's another one. It's just like jungle. It'll have jungle in it, or bayou, or whatever it had. And then so you're able to look up and find in the light world that region. And then go into the dark world of that region. Actually, if you're in the light world, here's another fun thing. If you're in the light world and you scan using the dark visor, not the scan visor, keep using the word scan. If you use the dark visor in the light world, you will see an outline around where the cache is that hides the key. And then you go to the dark world, use the dark visor to look at where that outline was, and then you'll find the key itself. A lot of steps. Admittedly clever. Frustrating and slow as all get out. The Prime games... Maybe 2 was just the epitome of this, because 3 I remember sending you to a lot of different places. You actually interacted with a lot of hunters. People didn't like that. It was less atmospheric. But the gameplay was fast and understandable, and even at the end, you got to like a library lore place, which you were able to look up and see, okay, what areas am I missing pickups in? That's very helpful. I think 2 was the epitome of this game is too slow, scanning is cool, let's make you scan everything. Don't ask me why they did that, that's just their decision. And it makes me both excited and worried about what they might do for Prime 4. Now, for some reason, literally everybody has been waiting for Metroid Prime 4. For some reason, everyone looks back on the Metroid Prime games and says, oh, they're freaking amazing. Go back and play them. They're good. Maybe for the time they were amazing because Nintendo didn't have any other first-person shooters. But play them. Don't just play the trilogy version. I don't care, Skype. This is the first time Windows has told me a Skype update in months. Why now? I don't care. Anyway, if you play the trilogy version, things will be slightly better because then you will have the Corruption Metroid Prime 3 motion controls. You might think, motion controls? Those are awful. The Corruption motion controls were pretty decent because for the most part, it just relied on aiming and looking around were the motion parts. A little bit with the grapple beam was stupid, but the aiming was functional. Aiming is something you can't do in the original Prime engine. Oh, I'm pinned. You cannot aim. You move with tank controls. It just... When they say tank controls, they mean like you are in a tank. You can move forward and backwards, or you can turn. You can't look up or down unless you hold a button which locks you in place. Holding the R trigger locks you in place and allows you to look around. Thank goodness, no quest. Hate getting quests when I'm pinned, because... Dust of Locating? Why so many item quests? Not search, sell. Okay, we're just gonna get item quests today. That's wonderful. Thanks, Questmaster. But yes, playing Metroid Prime. Come on. Playing Metroid Prime 2, or even probably just the original Metroid Prime, with the tank controls in 3D environments that are very deliberately confusing, I would say, some of them. Some of them are pretty easy to get around, but as you go later into the game... In fact, it's not even as you go later. It's just freaking Torvis Bog. Why is it always the water level that sucks the most? Torvis Bog is... Torvis Bog is my champion for worst water level, because it's just deliberately confusing. It's not even that the water physics are frustrating, which they are. It's just a confusing mess. Why is Torvis Bog a confusing mess? And then the boss spits out so many larvae, and then you have to scan it so many times. And, of course, the one scan in the entire game, the one enemy scan that I miss, is one of the boss's minions, which looks exactly like an enemy that you have seen before, very recently before that boss fight. So mentally, I'm like, oh, I know what these things are, I don't have to scan them. But apparently they're the dark version of them, and they don't appear outside that boss fight. So guess who has a 99% filled out logbook? Totally not salty at all. Yes. Playing Prime 2 on the GameCube with the tank controls. The Lena. Nalia. Those freaking giant leeches. Nope, don't ask to join. Get the heck out of here. Giant leeches in an anti-magic zone. Well, if that doesn't just sum up what this entire episode has been, I don't know what does. I'm not even fighting any dragons around here, I'm just getting freaking Goomons. Oh, offer to join, okay. You know what would be a fitting end to that? Is if that Wraith paralyzed and drained me through my resistances. Screw this. Oh, ants. I'm killing the ants. But yes. Sorry if I got a little salty talking about Echoes. It's not a bad game, but it's not an amazing game. Maybe the original Prime was better. Everyone says the original Prime was better. But I don't own the original Prime. I borrowed it from a friend. Way back, like a dozen years ago. Probably closer to 10. Yeah, so I finished that. Dust of locating. Okay, dust. Search for dust of loc. You're kidding me. I don't have dust of locating in the store. I'm looking this up right now. Because I've never even found dust of locating on this install. It was dust of locating that I wanted, right? I'm not just going crazy. Yes, dust of locating. Does this item even exist? Dust of locating. Found on level 1, drop chance of 3. Can cast Soul Search up to 2 times. What monsters can drop it, though? I don't even know. Okay. That's... No, not at all. So guess what I get to do? I brought how many characters to how many levels and never found a dust of locating? If it's not in the library, it means it's literally never been found. If it's not in the store, it means you've never sold one to it. Or you've bought out all their stock. Guess what I get to do? I get to forfeit the quest and lose all the levels I just gained. I'm so glad that an invisible monster was the first one I saw. Whatever. Because I would not have realized that none of my resistances were active. Leveling on level 1 takes so freaking long. Let's just get out of here. Anyway, outside of my anger, what have I played that was fun? What have I played that was good? Here is an answer that may surprise some of you. I played a hack called The Last Promise. It's a Fire Emblem fan game, hack, ROM hack, whatever you want to call it. It's a ROM hack on Fire Emblem 7. Probably one of the most well-known, famous/infamous fan hacks because of Well, frankly, the writing is pretty garbage. Um, it's... I get what they were going for, and it comes across eventually, but it's not presented the best. It's presented very amateurish. But the gameplay was surprisingly good. It wasn't fantastic, but there were a lot of things to like about it. A lot of custom weapons, most of which were garbage, but some of them were pretty good. Characters all felt viable. I rarely felt like a character wasn't worth using at all. I'm sure there were some times. It was a really surprisingly solid Fire Emblem game for being a fan hack. And look, I understand. You know, fan hacks, they are what they are. Freaking slavers in an anti-magic zone, why? Most fan hacks don't even get finished after more than a couple chapters. Yet this one is 30 to 40 chapters long if you include all the bonus chapters. Plus completely custom characters, story. There's a post-game in it now. There's so much stuff, and it actually is all very solid. Shaky at points, but overall quite solid. I'm not gonna spend my days searching for a Dust of Locating. I'm just gonna forfeit this quest. Where does it take me? Back to 22? 26. Okay, that's only like 3 levels. Not as bad as I thought. But anyway, The Last Promise was surprisingly good. Apparently they're making a sequel to it. I don't know if it's the actual, like, the person who originally made it. I've heard conflicting information. On one hand, I heard that it was the person who originally made it. On the other hand, I heard it was just some people or part of his support team, not, like, the lead person himself, but that he gave them permission. Either way, I'm actually surprisingly excited because when I initially heard of it, I'm like, do I really want to? I've never been a huge fan of fan games. I've always been like, you know what, it's like, if you want to make something of your own. But this, it's not a fan game in the sense that it takes, like, in the sense of most fan games, in terms of it takes the characters and whatever and just puts them in a different situation. This one just takes the gameplay and the engine of Fire Emblem, which I think is very solid and can hold its own in a lot of different ways, and tells a different story with different characters and different things around it, but just using the core gameplay loop, which is the best part of it. So in that sense it works, and in that sense I might actually be willing to play other Fire Emblem hacks. I understand that this is a Mordor video, but I mean, let me know if you would like to see me do any particular hacks. After playing one or two, it's been surprisingly fun, and it's something I would definitely be willing to look more into. It's a world I am not personally familiar with, but it's worlds that I'm not necessarily opposed to getting more into, if that makes any sense. Oh yeah, I had a random companion that's probably dead by now. No, do not drop my Dust of Healing. Do I still have a companion? Oh, I had a bull snake who's still has 3 hit points. Who's becoming restless. So yeah, I played through The Last Promise. That was fun. Probably not going to do the whole Constellation post-game unless I get really bored. What else have I played? I played through Pokemon Crystal. The unmodded, the original Pokemon Crystal on Virtual Console on the 3DS. Because I felt like it. And it was fun. That's another game I have some questions about some of their mechanics. First of all, why does every wild Pokemon have a chance to run away? Every single one. I had more problems with trying to catch a freaking Teddiursa and Phanpy. Maybe not more problems, because I still had to reset the Suicune fight several times, because mechanics for that are also borked. Because I could and probably should make an entire video just talking about the stupid mechanics of Pokemon. I can cover a lot of things about Gen 1. I now can cover a lot of things about Gen 2 because I just played through it. I'm considering completing my Pokedex because I completed my Pokedex in my Virtual Console Blue, admittedly using glitches to catch Pokemon that I can't normally catch, or evolve like Gengar and Alakazam. But I did it. All myself. No cheating devices, just glitches. Anyway, but things like capture mechanics are a bit off. Here's a fun fact. The reason the Moon Ball doesn't work, it's supposed to give a ×8 multiplier to Pokemon to catch Pokemon that evolve with a Moonstone, which is a fairly limited pool already. But the reason it doesn't work is because the item... I don't know exactly how it's coded, I haven't seen the code, but I'm guessing with the way that it's bugged out is that it checks if a Pokemon... Like, here's how it should work, I assume. It takes the Pokemon, checks if their evolution value is an item, and if it points to a particular item... HARL? Did I spell HARL? I'm tired. I typed in HARL instead of heal. I don't know what a HARL spell is. Hiksae. Freaking Hiksae. I have to have one in confinement, right? Companion not found. I have a Jubilex in here, but I don't have a Hiksae? There's gotta be some mistake. Zombie, Mummy, Milsey, Munsey, Wraith, Ghost, Spook, Shaman, Munsey. Nope. No Hiksae, no Hiksae. However you're supposed to pronounce that. What comes up with these names? But anyway, the Moon Ball is broken because instead of pointing to item Moonstone, the index it points to is Burn Heal. Now, how many Pokemon do you know that evolve with Burn Heal? If you're saying none, that is correct. Yeah, so that's why. So it gives a ×8 multiplier to all Pokemon that evolve using Burn Heal, which are 0. So it technically works. It technically works as intended, provided the index number were pointing towards Moonstone and not Burnheal. And you were so close. I'm just gonna check these rooms. Nope. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope. Nope. Giant spiders, snooks, kobolds, growth and rogues, footpads. Crystal spiders, not crystal spiders, giant spiders. Black bears, giant spiders, giant owls, Gredlin rogues, enchanter, giant centipede, insect, black bear. Footpad, outcast rogue, giant spider, kobolds, Gredlin rogues, outcast goblin, pseudo dragon, skeleton. My goodness, Hiksae, where are you? I'm gonna kill everything that's a zombie just in case I misidentify it. Let's just kill the aboleth, why not? Gain gauntlets and gloves of the blackguard. Hey, it's a little gold. Sounds like I really need gold when I have 223 million. I thought I had more than that. Apparently not. That's what the I key sends me to for some reason. Hiksae, where? There's a Nomina. And that used to be the thing that gave me trouble. But no, now it's finding a frickin' hick. Centipede, zombie, mage. Why is there this giant room in the middle of nowhere? I don't know. Hiksae, why are you so hard to find? I think I've searched every room on floor 1, and no Hiksae. Not wonderful. What even was I talking about? Pokemon Crystal, yes. I have thoughts on trying to catch every Pokemon there. Probably not going to end up doing it, but I could. I completed the unknown dex for some unfathomable reason. And that gets you absolutely nothing, but it's... No, wait, it unlocks the printer and allows you to print... Oh man, I was gonna capture it. Okay, well I found it. Found the freaking Hiksae. That's how you go on a quest, people. I don't care about this bull snake. I should probably call it pretty soon. The last game I've been playing recently is Baton Kaitos Origins, and that... Well, it's a Monolith Soft game. What else can I say? It is a good game, and my goodness. After just coming off of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I didn't realize just how similar all of Monolith Soft games would be. I'll do one more run, why not? I haven't recorded in a while. everything worked when I started it up, which was exciting for me. As opposed to normally I'm used to having to mess with settings for about 10 minutes before things start working. So while things are working, let's record. Yes, I'm playing Baten Kaitos Origins. That is a fun game. Without going into spoilers, I'm just gonna say I wish that Monolith Soft would stop doing the thing where you're forced to lose boss fights for the majority of the game. Like, seriously, can't I win anything? Don't I get to enjoy the feeling of a small victory? Or does everything have to turn against me and everything have to lose everything? Even when I win, I lose. The game just force losses you once you deal so much damage, or after so many rounds of combat, or whatever. Or even when you win and beat a boss that you had a fail state on that you could have lost. Even when you win, it's like, oh, well, someone else is just gonna swoop in and you're gonna lose anyway. Okay, sure. Whatever. I say I don't care, but I'm bringing it up, so I do care. The Magna mixing is interesting, but clunky and tedious. The card battling system is just fun. Okay, I get the same rush in making relay combos as I do from Xenoblade Chronicles in stacking together blade and driver combos. It's that good. And the fact that I can use my knowledge of things like Magic the Gathering and Dominion to be able to make a better deck, to be able to be better at the game, so good. It's like, yes, I could put 60 cards into my deck, but I get max hand size at 40, so I'm going with 40. Stop missing the kill art. It's a kill art. What's it gonna do? Shine on you until you die? No. More slavers and anti-magic zones. Congratulations. Stop being annoying. But yes, right now I just finally got into Disc 2. I've only been in Disc 2 for a little bit. It took me about 40 hours to get to Disc 2. Granted, at least 10 of those hours were spent wandering around, doing side quests, waiting for Magna to age, etc. I'm trying to do Pac-Man, and I need to find a way to go back to the person who gave me Pac-Man and see if I've earned any rewards yet, because right now I'm kind of regretting my decision because it's taking so much of my blank Magna space. For a second there I thought it said Dust of Locating and I was going to be real upset. Yeah, I love the Magna system. I just wish you weren't limited to so few spaces. But at the same time, I understand why they limit you to blank in terms of blank Magna spaces. Because they decided to give not every, but a lot of different quest Magnus a minor effect on your combat stats. I haven't noticed anything substantial. The game says it's there, and I'm sure it is there. I just haven't noticed anything substantial. But for people who love to min-max their characters, it's an extra option for them to dish out a couple more points of damage here and there. And I'm perfectly fine with them having that. I just wish that I wasn't limited in my Quest Magna spaces so much. I'm fine now that I have 24, but for the longest time when you're stuck with 8 and you keep getting quest magnets that you can't drop, you get to a point where you only have 4 magnets available. And when you have to age some quest magnets and combine some others, and you want to hold on to some because later in the game or whatever reason or blah blah blah, you get to a point where you have so few spaces available that you can't do anything. Oh, I'm pinned. Nice. But overall, I love at least the concept of most of their systems. It's fun. I wish that it were a little less grindy. And it's grindy in a weird way. It's not grindy in the sake of most other RPGs in which, oh, I have to grind for levels or for stats. This is grindy in terms of, well, I have to fight monsters in order for my Magna mixers to finish. I have to wait time for my Magna to age. I have to go to specific locations to get Magnus. I can only carry so many, and they're going to age, so I can't carry too many anyway. And I have to go back later to get the same one, because apparently there's only one person who has salt in the entire universe. And that person is me right now. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I don't know when the next episode's going to go up after this one, but it's been good to just sit back, relax, and rant a little bit. I might be having a little bit more free time now that school is wrapping up. I just have finals to look forward to. And I have free time at least for another month because everyone else is still in school. But mine finishes early. Whatever. I'll be looking for more ways to record, for more things to record. But until then, this is Mythos Zenith signing out. Have a great day, everyone. See you later.